fly away with me. Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away with me. Don't you be afraid, everything will change. You and I, jumping off the edge. They say dreamers never die. So come and fly, come and fly, come and fly away with me. We're rising, we're falling, we're making through. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views. We're rising, we're falling, we're making through. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views. Somewhere by the emerald sea, where the moon and water meet. Somewhere close to harmony, when the world is sound asleep. Something's gonna bring the change, journeys we are meant to take. Something at the edge of space, calling us to fly away. Don't you be afraid, everything will change. You and I, jumping off the edge. They say dreamers never die. So come and fly, come and fly, come and fly away with me. We're rising, we're falling, we're making through. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views. We're rising, we're falling, we're making through. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views. Come and fly away, come and fly away, come and fly away with me. Come and fly away, come and fly away, come and fly away with me. Something's gonna bring the change, journeys we are meant to take. Something at the edge of space, calling us to fly away.
Yeah. Good evening, guys, and welcome to round 2, the first game of round 2. This is the rAge Champions powered by MSI and Evetech. Also welcome a few new sponsors on board. That's Corsair, Antec, and Western Digital. So, of course, the more sponsors, the better. My pleasure to be with you again. Welcome.
Absolutely, pleasure to be here, and I must say your sponsor plug game is absolutely on point. I'd expect nothing less.
Hey man, I got some awesome overlays as well from the guys over at MSI, and they work really nicely with Quake fitting in the center there. They did a good job on that one, so I like it. I like to work well with people who like to work well with me.
Yeah, well, and if we're talking about working well, MSI products work pretty well. We got to say, streaming things on the MSI laptop right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean that's quite something on its own. Not often a laptop can do a 1080p stream of a game like Quake, no problemo. So
exactly.
that's,
We
it
are
says quite
first-class
something.
shills. We're really good at it.
So, our game tonight, we've got, it's our first round 2 game we're covering. Of course, this is the second week. You can have a look in the description for the brackets just to see what's happened, what's transpired to this point. Now, we have Shase against SwiftManslayer, winner securing that spot at rAge Finals, loser being eliminated. We have our first map, it is Corrupted Keep, and it's going to be a good map. This is, of course, a map without a railgun, which creates a bit of a different dynamic.
Yeah, absolutely. Shall we start the match? Do you think? Do you think we should talk more, or should we just like let these guys go at it? What do you think?
Let's get a ready up from SwiftManslayer first. Chase has given us one. There we are. Got
there
one
we
from,
go. Okay.
All right, let me jump into the game on OBS as well. Of course, that would always be a good idea. There we are. Have you ever done that before? Started casting still in your offline screen or your AFK screen?
Oh, I've done it so many times. I've also done it a number of times with the mic muted.
Okay, wow, yeah. I mean, it's bound to happen, right? It's just there's quite a few things that you need to do before you can actually go live in the game, and if you miss one of them, well, I was once on a in between the game, I went to a pause screen, and when the game got unpaused, I forgot to actually go back into the game, and so that was great casting for a solid 15. You know, it's one of those streams where you only have like 5 to 10 people. Comment section's not really active. You know, no one's really.
And nobody actually told you is what you're saying, right?
Not for about 10 or 15 minutes. Then I got a tweet actually from XTC that had pointed it out to me. So that was great. Anyway, I'll strive to not make such a mistake in future.
It feels bad when it happens.
Yeah, let's move along here. Death Knight, Nyx, and Ranger up against Death Knight, Nyx, and I didn't see who the final champion was on the right hand side. SwiftManslayer. It was actually a mirror. We've got a mirror, Mike.
What?
We've got a Ranger, Death Knight, Nyx, Nyx.
That is interesting. Actually, if we look at how things have changed in the last few months, the default picks of a lot of these players have actually evolved quite a bit since the last MSI Quake Champions Cup over at Rush.
Yeah, the meta does shift slightly. Of course, the latest addition to the meta is the Death Knight.
Prepare to fight.
This is a hero that's been most recently added to the game, and the players have actually taken quite a liking to him. He was incredibly strong initially, but he did get a nerf. Anyway, we are straight into the game here. SwiftManslayer against Shase. Death Knight for SwiftManslayer, Ranger for Shase. I'm on Shase's POV at the moment. And he's going to look to get off to a good start here. Of course, he is the favourite, and he catches that flame damage coming through, and that's actually going to put him on the back foot here. And this is a really awkward spot on Corrupted Keep, and you can see SwiftManslayer actually going to try and catch him off guard, and he does. That spot that Shase was in is a really a frustrating spot. There's not really any easy exit without taking a chunk of damage.
Yeah, backed into the corner there, set on fire, and well, there's just nowhere for him to go with the amount of health that he had on him. So, nice opening there from SwiftManslayer, and let's see if he can use some of that trademark aggressiveness, all in the name, SwiftManslayer, wants to get in your face quickly and get you down on the floor.
He actually had an impressive run at BS as well. It's the first time that I had come across him personally, and I was impressed. Lands some nice rails. He's got decent LG as well, and his rockets, I must say. Of course, I know I covered all the guns, but he did have impressive character qualities with each of them. You can see Shase getting a bit of damage done there. Like I said, no railgun on this map, which means you need other means to get your chip damage down, and Shase actually going to pop his invisibility here. SwiftManslayer doesn't mind that. I mean, at this point, he's 1 kill up. And he's got the stack advantage, so he really doesn't have any reason to force the issue.
All with the back against the wall, and you get caught off guard a little bit there, take some damage, and actually will go down. That's of course always the difficulty when you're on next. The lack of health does leave you in a little bit of a disadvantage in those up close engagements, and unfortunately there it came out. Now down to the last champion here, Shase.
Yeah, and you can see he's trying to capitalize on the fact that SwiftManslayer might be low. Wow, look at how much damage the flames did there. That was huge. That was somewhere close to 200, I think, in one pop.
Smart plays out of Shase. Back against the wall, metaphorically, literally, in every possible way. And he comes up big. Shase, so many times that the man who's going to win in those sorts of engagements. Tip against Phantom.
Yeah, I mean, that's the end goal, man. He's going to get there. The invis pop from SwiftManslayer, and Shase is going to reposition himself, so that he can't quite get caught off guard. SwiftManslayer does grab the Mega though, and they're actually exchanging a lot of LG shots here. Shase needs to be careful, he's very low. SwiftManslayer is still quite comfortable at this point. He can take a couple more shots. Actually, I'm surprised to see him allow Shase to get away. He knew that he had Shase's back against the wall. That's going to allow Shase to get the heavy pops up to Mortal as well, and SwiftManslayer not quick enough to react, so he's just going to play the passive option and go grab the Mega.
Shase has built the stack really nicely up until this point there, the Ghost Walk coming out to save his life. And it might not work out right in the teeth there, and how is he still alive? Yeah,
I'm not sure. This would be the perfect opportunity for the railgun to come through from Shase. Of course, he doesn't have that luxury. Both players now have been pushed to the extreme and managed to keep alive. It doesn't look like it's going to be the same for SwiftManslayer to the extent that Shase has done it. And he's now brought himself within one champion's reach of winning this first round. He was down 2 champions, Mike. SwiftManslayer started off so well. He's losing his mojo, and in fact, it's looking like it might continue the same direction here as Shase is just starting to look more and more comfortable. Oh my word, that fire damage just way too much.
There we are, making the final stand there with the Death Knight, and the Death Knight being the death of SwiftManslayer. Fantastic work out of Shase. He was, of course, the finalist, the beaten finalist, unfortunately, in the VS Gaming Championships, but certainly showing what he's made of throughout that competition, and the Quake Champions Cup by MSI at Rush. And I think a lot of people are going to think of him as a finalist at rAge in just next weekend. I was going to say a couple weeks, but I just suddenly realized, hang on, it's pretty close.
Not too far away. I think he's actually going to beat Phantom soon. He's getting there. Sometimes their matchups look a bit one-sided, but he has his moments, and if he can just tap into those moments more frequently, he may stand a chance. Anyway, it's a conversation for another day. Welcome, Void. Cyanide. Wow, SwiftManslayer looks like he's going to get taken down here first again. Let's jump over to SwiftManslayer's POV, see exactly how he makes it back into the second round here. He has got range and he catches a maximum damage rocket. That is never comfortable for anyone. He's going to try and double back around. Does a decent orb damage, but he gets orb fragged himself, actually. Wow.
That was really sneaky out of Shase. Didn't see that one coming, and neither did SwiftManslayer there.
I didn't even see that one coming. That one caught me off guard as well.
Oh, I guess that's why he's the pro player and we're not, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm here just doing the commentating, you know, from a distance. Quite comfortable to just not be on the receiving end of those orbs.
Oh, 2 HP.
Nice rockets from SwiftManslayer, but yeah, he's just taken a massive amount of damage himself. And with 15 seconds left on the Mega, he's going to be reeling. Here we go, Shase. Absolutely understanding that and capitalizing. So that second round, not nearly as competitive.
Prepare to fight.
I thought we had a game on our hands here. Sorry to interrupt you. I mean, you were looking a bit interesting at one point.
Absolutely agree, but if you look at the playstyle that comes out of SwiftManslayer, he does rely on getting aggressive early and knocking his opponent back, and that happened against Shase in that first round, but by the second round, Shase was able to keep him at arm's length, and he's going to be trying to do that. Some big damage coming out, Chaz.
Well, SwiftManslayer is not at all afraid to commit to the fight, as you alluded to in the beginning here. He really does go quite hard at it, not pulling back even when he seems to be taking quite a lot of damage. You can see using that machine gun to try and get some distance damage done. I mean, it's really only the machine gun and the nail gun you can use on this map to take a duel at range. I mean, the rocket launcher is not really the most effective weapon, so... Oh man, look at SwiftManslayer stack. At least he's going to be able to get that Mega, just helping his cause somewhat.
Yeah, that was very much needed. He was hurting there. Trying to make his escape here and just stack up a little bit more. Hopefully keep alive to fight another day, because days are running out now that we're in round 3. Of course, he can't afford to make too many more mistakes on this map before we would end up on, I think it's Blood Cup the next one, is it?
Yeah, Blood Run or Blood Cup, one of the two.
It's a Blood something.
Yeah.
Got to check.
That just means it's going to be a good map regardless. I mean, quite frankly, there isn't really a map in Quake I don't enjoy. Veil of Narth, maybe the
Longest Yard, don't like that one.
Yeah, but nobody plays that one competitively, so that's cool at least.
It's still new, so I guess we may see it end up in the pro level at some point. And of course, the pro level games are coming up pretty soon. Aside from the MSI rAge Quake Champions Cup, we've got the PGL Duels competition happening the same weekend, so plenty of Quake to watch that particular weekend. And geez, I don't know if SwiftManslayer is going to be around to actually play in that tournament at this stage, because geez, he is hurting. Oh, and he catches the air shot there from Shase.
Fitting ending to that kill, something that Shase had been looking like he was in line to do for a while there. And you can see the patience coming through in Shase's game. He's got all the advantage in the world at this stage. No need to make any unnecessary commitments, and really playing that very nicely.
There the orb coming out to make good his escape, but he's not going to be allowed to get away. Shase giving him no space, and after playing quite a ranged game early on, Shase now feeling confident, I think, getting in his face.
Yeah, and when he knows he's got this 2-champion advantage, he's even more encouraged to take the fights. He get caught off guard by SwiftManslayer, but SwiftManslayer not really in a stack position until he lands that deadly tri-bolt. That did a lot of damage. He's looking for the shotgun now. How is Shase still alive? No, he does eventually go down. So SwiftManslayer still keeping himself in this first map.
And any other side of the bracket, Swift would be one of those players you'd think could actually make it to the land. So this is actually quite a big game in the context of the tournament, despite it not even being LAN yet.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. We have actually quite a few decent round 2 games where it's a little bit unfortunate for someone who, as you said, if they ended up on another end of the bracket, they may have been able to make it. So it always provides for some interesting Quake in the group stages, and Shase utilizing his Nyx invis to actually keep track of SwiftManslayer, because if both Nyxes are invisible at the same time, you can actually see your opponent.
Yeah, that's a key detail, and using it really nicely there. Of course, a lot of players will use it in a purely defensive sort of scenario, but in that case, you could see Swift using it defensively, and Shase goes, oh, well, you can do it, so can I.
Yeah.
And follows him around to the health packs, and down he goes, or the health bubbles, shall we say.
Just having a quick look at the stats here while I have a chance, because they disappear pretty quickly. 34% accuracy on the LG for Shase. That's quite impressive. Getting over 1,000 damage done there, and the rockets, Shase did more than double damage with his rocket launcher, 887 with a 26% accuracy. I mean, that's a 1 in 4 shot or hit accuracy with your rockets, which is quite impressive if you consider how frequently you are just firing off your rocket launcher defensively at choke points, not necessarily always trying to aim at your opponent.
Yeah, it's obviously a weapon that has quite a spammy sort of nature to it as well, that you want to spam choke points, maybe catch your opponent as he's crossing, that sort of thing. So actually having 1 in 4 accuracy with it, it's pretty good. And of course he pulled out the style as well with the air shot there on Mega to drop him. So Shase, he knows his way around rockets. It's fair to say, I think. And now we're going to Blood Run.
Yeah, I did just have a look at his Blood Run, so we can put it on that map and let's just see if the players are ready. But after that first round, I thought we had a game on our hands. Then Shase just pulling away with it. Sometimes it does take the I'm going to use the word again, Mike. You scolded me on the Metal State stream. The overdog. Okay. Just,
the overdog.
Just let it ride. Sometimes as the overdog, that early game pressure gets to you a bit. You know that there's a level of expectation on your shoulders, and you're almost forced to play comfortably. You almost feel that you have to. Do you know what I mean? It's not something that comes naturally to you at that point. Maybe overthinking things a little bit, but as soon as Shase gets into that clinical mindset, he does start to do Shase things.
Yeah, and he is nothing if not clinical. You can see the metaphorical gears turning behind the man's eyes all the time when he's talking about Quake, and I'm sure the same is true when he's playing Quake. Definitely a very calculating player, and well, almost I'd say they're almost foils to each other in terms of style here. So it's sort of a clash of play styles.
In what sense would you say that?
Well, SwiftManslayer does with his aggression. He just seems to be more about taking the fight, where Shase is a guy who's going to sometimes shy away from that, look to play the long game, and that seems to work for him. Of course, it's generally the way the most of the top pros internationally would play, and it's what he's modeling himself on. But the all-out aggression can work. We have seen players internationally pull it off as well, and have pretty dominant runs at times with it. So you can't discount it. It's just not that common.
No, I completely agree with you, and there's a reason for that. Of course, you're increasing the odds on your end when you take that engagement by just taking a fight that's better suited for you, and not really just engaging every time you run into the person.
Absolutely, indeed, and we do thank all of you for joining us tonight for the MSI Quake Champions. Well, we want to say a cup, but we're not really to the cup part yet. We're trying to figure out which of these two players is actually going to make it to the top 8 to play at LAN at the actual cup at rAge, and that's coming up next weekend. So not long from now, Friday morning, or Friday afternoon, shall I say, is the first game. Yes.
Yes, we have got all the quarterfinals on the Friday, and then the semi-finals and the grand final on the Saturday. So this would sort of be the qualifier leading into that, I suppose.
3, 2, 1.
Indeed, and it's got MSI in the name. That's because it's sponsored by MSI, and this is being streamed by an MSI laptop. Buy their stuff, it's cool.
It is cool, man, and it's doing a really good job of it as well. But what I'm pretty excited for is the fact that we have a railgun in the mix now.
Yes.
It's always good to watch these guys with the railgun, especially Shase. He is quite beautiful with it.
Oh, that's a big shotgun.
Wow, that was a massive shotgun. That did huge amounts of damage. Up close, that thing can do up to 110 damage if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he absolutely nailed him there. Now hurting for HP, unfortunately, and SwiftManslayer going to swiftly return on that. And that's what you got to do when you know your opponent's low. You got an idea.
Yeah, 100% try and capitalize on that window of opportunity. The fact that, as you said, he knew Shase was low from their prior engagement. Nice movement here from Swift is going to allow him to dodge all that fire and actually get the heavy. Looking for the fadeaway rail as well. Doesn't connect, but SwiftManslayer already looking better here on the second map. This is a channel or a passageway which does tend to lend itself to quite a lot of aggression. I see I have lost axtreme. It's done. Alright, back into the game. SwiftManslayer actually catching a railgun there from behind. It's one of those frustrating things. You're trying to just get yourself around the map, grab a power up or two, and before you know it, you're catching a railgun in the arse. And at least he does answer back with one of his own. Opportunity for a second. He's actually going to force Shase off of the mega here. That's pretty huge. Shase could have done with that considering his stack at the moment. And with 8 seconds left here on the heavy, SwiftManslayer might actually be able to position himself to contest. PC blue screen. Alright, so Extreme should be back here soon, hopefully. I'm assuming everything comes on without any problems. And Void, yeah, I completely agree with you. I don't know exactly how old he is, but he looked pretty young. And we don't have many young top players in South Africa, so that is a great prospect. And he's looking good in the second map, I must say. This was his pick as well. And he's actually going to run straight into Shase, but he has no problem whatsoever getting that damage out. He's using this Death Knight really effectively, just nuking Shase down time and time again, whether it's comboing it with the rocket or with the rail. It does a huge amount of damage. So, now one champion away from winning his first round against Shase. Coming across one another here, he's going to be able to get the mega at least, and that might be the end of Shase. Shase actually getting a lot of damage done with the LG. He's going to pop his invisibility as well, leaving SwiftManslayer in the dark, and both players are going to make it away alive, but for how long? Trying to replenish the stack with a couple of light armor bubbles, or light armors and light health bubbles. Shase did get the heavy at least, so that does give him a little bit more of an advantage, but that does get negated by some damage that comes out from SwiftManslayer. Hey, XCC Esports, it actually wasn't the laptop that blue screened, it was Mike's computer. He should get an MSI laptop, and then you won't have that problem. So Shase utilizing the nicknames there. Actually, I missed a kill. Wow, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. My mistake. In fact, Shase actually comes back to get the double. Oh my goodness.
Prepare to fight.
That is quite something. I looked away for a
Round
second.
begins in
Shase picks up 2
3,
kills. And he brings the
1.
round back. It's almost
Round 2,
deja vu from what happened up
fight.
front. Keep exactly the same situation. Have a look at this movement check from Shase. Opting to not go for the mega, I don't think. Instead, he tries for the aggressive option. Wow, that was quite an interesting start there from Shase. Certainly not the conventional one. It now splits up the heavy and the mega, so this could have actually been intentional to try and create that gap so he can get both of them. 5 seconds left, might be a bit far away to capitalize. Oh, nice railgun there, looks for the follow-up, and of course he's going to land that. He's got opportunity to close out here, doesn't need to make it overcomplicated, can just use the LG. Sometimes something I do is completely overcalculated. You know, you land a couple good railgun shots, you know your opponent's almost dead, you feel like you can just land one more and close out the kill. But then you miss, and you miss, and you miss. Of course, makes a lot more sense to change to that LG, way easier to land the shots. Oh, wow, lots of damage coming out there from Shase. In fact, he's just going to stick to the rocket launcher and close out that kill. 2 kills now for Shase. And he's just being absolutely instrumental here. And in fact, look at the discipline to not even commit. Of course, you didn't know exactly where SwiftManslayer would have gone with that invis, but still, just not allowing himself to get caught off. And that railgun shot is going to be giving SwiftManslayer a bit of a headache, potentially in real life, because I felt that one as well.
Round begins
I'm
in
sure
3,
you guys felt that
2,
one just
1.
watching.
Round 3.
That was dirty. Alright, but SwiftManslayer's perspective, seems like he plays best when he has the spotlight on him. Ranger against Ranger to start things off here. So, the champion choices haven't changed. What has changed is the order. And a railgun shot there from Shase, just absolutely keeping SwiftManslayer in check here. Oof, Shase uncharacteristically missing the mark there. And that's going to give SwiftManslayer a bit of room to breathe. Looks like there's a bit of lag coming through. I'm not sure exactly what that boiled down to. Let's make sure that everything seems smooth. Alright, just a glitch in the system, glitch in the matrix. Nothing serious. SwiftManslayer battling from the low ground here. Needs to be careful. Of course, he's susceptible to the rockets. Oh my God, Shase! Beautiful preemptiveness there. I'm even going to make up a word. That situation deserved it. Wow, that was phenomenal. That's just what hours, hundreds and thousands of hours this game comes down to. Not hundreds, not thousands of hundreds, but just not hundreds of thousands, rather hundreds. Okay, I'm lost, I'm done. Oh man, and I absolutely muddled up that entire last frag there. Guys, it has been a tongue twister of a night, I apologize. Not enough coffee, maybe too much, I'm not sure. Regardless, Shase has now confirmed his spot at rAge. Of course, that was the expected result, but at least SwiftManslayer gave us a bit of a game there on our hands towards the early stages. The first round of each map, he was certainly in it. Certainly somebody to keep an eye on going forward. Having a look at the rails here, 42% accuracy for Shase. That is not easy to go up against. Unlucky for Swift, of course, he knows he has a lot of potential. Chatted to him at rAge, he's very solid, and he will be back stronger. That you can guarantee. Scary prospect going forward, I'm sure. Shase is, he's beating him now, but for how long? Mike, appreciate you sticking around in the chat. Apologies, I hope everything's alright there on your side. Guys, of course, thank you so much to the sponsors, MSI, Evetech, Western Digital, Corsair, and Antec for making this possible. I mean, especially the new ones coming on board. It's great to see that they obviously see value in these tournaments and they want to get on board. Let's give them a reason to that they've made. Okay, guys, of course, from my side, it's always a pleasure. Thanks so very much for joining me. If you don't mind, just drop a subscribe. Help me get towards number 100. I can get a custom URL for my channel. That would make me feel a lot better about myself. You know how it is, guys. Custom URLs are life. Custom URLs are love. No, they're really not. Okay, I'm going to play some shitty NCS music, guys. If you want to hang around, enjoy. I'll check you around.
I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
I'm gonna flip you like a table.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you? Light shine through. shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you.
Legendary. Legendary. Rare.
What have you done, Extremes?
What did I do?
We're not supposed to be playing Instagram.
I know, I'm gonna change the mode. Don't be like that. I'm busy typing messages. Come on.
I thought we actually searched for a game though.
No, we haven't.
I thought okay. Back to you. That is some DJ level fadeaway right there. Welcome, guys, to the second game of the evening. This is the rAge Champions Qualifier. Winner of this game makes their way to rAge. And I've got quite an interesting note about this game, Mike. cYan1D's
Yes.
already bought his plane ticket.
Ooh, confidence, eh?
Oh, that's some confidence right there. But you got to get those cheap flights. You have to back yourself, man.
Absolutely do. Of course, it's not very far away either, so I don't think there's many cheap flights left, but I'm sure there's still tickets left for rAge if you guys don't have yours, so definitely check out the every place that you could buy tickets, basically, because
Yeah.
they do seem to be just about everywhere. But I'd recommend going to their social media and following the buy ticket links.
I must say, I've seen a lot of marketing for rAge this year. Probably the most I've seen in out of all of them. I've been to a lot. I've been to all about past 5 in a row, I think. Casted at 4 of them in my young career.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
you've got one over me there, I think, because I didn't do 2015. I was playing in 2015.
Yeah.
CS:GO, 7th place, man. I'm fantastic.
Love me, appreciate me. Okay.
Appreciate me for being sort of mediocre at Counter-Strike.
No, that's fair play, man. Do we have our maps yet? 1 minute.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Yeah.
It's going to be Blood Covenant first for cYan1D. Then we've got Molten Falls coming out from James. So should we call him Laker, or do we call him the full James Laker? What do you think?
I think we're gonna have to go with James Laker, eh?
Okay.
James Laker and cYan1D. For anyone who's not familiar, cYan1D is from Namibia. And should he win, he does make the trek across and comes to play at rAge. He played at Rush as well, which was in June, if I'm not mistaken. And that was quite an interesting tournament. I think he came 8th, if my memory serves.
Yeah, he
Or
still played a
7th or
good
8th.
game.
Yes,
And
he did. Yeah, I think he got unfortunate about who his first game was against, and the same is this case. If he plays at rAge, let me just check the bracket here. His first game will be against Phantom in the quarterfinal. If he wins this.
Wow.
And assuming
Ouch.
Phantom beats Warpath.
Is he just getting unlucky with all of these these seedings? Or?
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you're the lowest seed. Unfortunately, you play against the best. And then on James Laker's side, he beat FireZA to get here. Matching up against cYan1D now. cYan1D
Did it
certainly
take
the
duel?
favourites.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Sorry,
it
just for a second, I had this crazy thought that I'd still left it on Instagib.
Oh, that would have made for some interesting Quake. I wonder how long we could have gone on with that. I
We
mean,
were having a bit of banter in the chat about it. So, you know, when you do things like these, you suddenly think to yourself, wait, maybe I was having so much fun joking with the players about that it's going to be Instagib that I actually left it there. That would have been embarrassing. We avoid that, thankfully, but we do see the picks coming out now.
Yeah, Anarchy and Slash. Look at that, Mike. Wow, that is amazing. I'm already excited for this game. 2 of the most mobile heroes, or champions rather, already being picked here by cYan1D, and that sends a strong message. Blood Covenant is a map with a lot of verticality, so great opportunity for Slash to utilize that crouch slide and get around the map. And then Doomslayer, the final pickup for cYan1D. Didn't see what James Laker's final pickup was.
Yeah, mine actually changed before I could see it, so hopefully I'll just say this. Every time I've tried to cast with you online, for some reason I've had like various issues with the game where it's crashed, so I'm really, really holding thumbs that it actually holds out for once.
Yeah, better
It'd
you
be
than
nice.
me, frankly, considering the stream is on this computer, so
True.
at least it has been you, but yeah, hopefully we get through a full game here.
Do you think it's because I have ASUS hardware? Do you think that's
Well,
maybe it?
all I'm saying is the MSI is running perfectly. I don't need to say anything else.
Sponsor plugs for days, and hopefully we're going to see frags for days.
Yes.
The game shouldn't last for days, but metaphorically, lots of frags.
Let's see
Great map, of course.
cYan1D up on his Anarchy, opting to go for the rail before the heavy. Just, he knows that the railgun is going to be more difficult of a pickup, so rather do it now when there's a lot less of an opportunity or chance of someone being there. And he's actually going to catch James Laker in the back, yeah. Get a couple of rail, rocket into the rail, and that is James Laker looking a bit worse off. Not many people are going to be able to sustain that, and I feel like James Laker is going to have a bit of trouble keeping track of cYan1D's Anarchy once he does get into full swing.
Yeah, he's got a lot of speed on his side, and he's also got the stack on his side right now as well. There's going to come the boost, so got plenty of speed behind him as he nearly catches him before getting on the heavy there, but it's not going to matter. Pinpoint rail finishes it off anyway.
Okay, cYan1D has already impressed me. I did have good memories of him, but I must say I'm impressed by his mechanics and his movement straight off the bat here. You can really see into a player's ability or his level by his ability to rail on the move and on the go. Keeping track of his crosshair while shifting across, and it's not an easy thing to do.
Nice little offhanded spam rocket there.
Yeah. James Laker got the BJ Blazkowicz here. Needs to get a bit of a stack to work with if he wants to contest with cYan1D.
If he hit him with that fully charged rail, it would have hurt just a little bit. But now they're dancing around the pillars here, trying to find an advantageous angle. It looks like cYan1D's going to fall off it and try come in with a backstab here. Nearly catches him.
Yeah, that was actually 1 second off of being the perfect play. He's going to get across to the heavy nice and quickly, and this might be the end of the first round. The dual wheel does come through, but not going to be enough. cYan1D does close out the first round without dropping a single kill, so that Anarchy getting a lot of work done. Of course, for anyone who's not familiar, every time he injects himself, he increases his maximum HP by 1.
3, 2, 1. Round 2. Fight.
Oh, he's a juicer, that's for sure.
Yes, he certainly is. cYan1D now going to be going for the slash. I'm quite happy about this. Always very entertaining watching a good slash player.
Oh, and everything's moving at 10,000 miles per hour as well. And dropping some of those heavy tri-bolts on there. Doing a nice bit of damage.
This is just poetry in motion from cYan1D on the slash player. Of course, I'm going to be more in awe of it than
suicide.
I'll be more in awe of it than most people, as I'm not the highest quality Quake player. So when I do see this slash movement, it does make me happy.
One thing you got going for you as a Quake player, at least your rails are pretty good. I fear a few rockets though, Sean.
Yeah, the rockets need a lot of work. The rails, that's got that CS background there. And cYan1D, he's making James Laker his background at the moment.
He's really making quick work of him.
Yeah, he is. Especially with these champions that do have such fast movement speed, it's you bump into each other quite often, and it's not easy to track them when you're trying to shoot them.
Also using the movement speed here, cYan1D, to keep control of all those items and keeping himself stacked really nicely, landing a nice rail as well, and the follow-up got to be coming in here. Of course, James is really low and all the gauntlets.
The gauntlets. Oh,
Round 2 complete.
especially once James Laker had popped his ability there was really no way he could output so much damage in a short amount of time.
Round
cYan1D,
begins
the
in
ultimate PM.
3, 2.
So, heading into map point now for
Round
cYan1D.
3.
That flight ticket looking to be a good decision. But let's not count on James Laker out just yet. This was cYan1D's map pick, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice rocket out of James there to land it on the rail, predicting his movement very nicely, but just not able to follow up with the damage just yet. And the speed advantage from cYan1D really coming to bear here. He's doing such huge damage, lands dual rails there just back to back, in the back.
Yeah, that was really nice from him, using the crouch slide to just gain a ton of momentum in and out, thieving that mega, and now making his way to the heavy, just abusing this speed.
You ever play Quake 4 with the crouch slides?
No, I didn't. I played Quake 3 as a kid with my mates and that sort of thing. Competitive, that was about it.
Oh well,
And,
something competitive's going on right now. Jeez, how did he land that rail?
Yeah.
That off angle. And another, oh my word, another gauntlet.
How many of these are we going to have? cYan1D just showing tons of confidence at this point. Going to be able to get the rails. In a map like Blood Covenant, when you can move so quickly, it enables you so much. So many gaps that you can cover, which you wouldn't be able to otherwise.
where it makes a difference, of course. Oh, another railgun in. And so confident he's playing close range with a railgun.
Not like this. Come on, Cyan.
Stop
Give
it.
him a little
Stop
bit more
it, Cyan.
respect than that. I mean, you've barely done any damage to him and you're going in with the gauntlets.
Feeling super confident. And
Shase backing James here. Hopefully, for his dignity's sake. His credibility on the line here, of course.
James playing a furious rear guard action here just to try to stay alive, but it's not going to work. Another gauntlet. Feeling it is cyanide, and he is poison to James on this particular map.
Yeah, that was a very dominant first map coming out of Cyanide. Of course, it was his pick, but a player who's good on Blood Covenant is a player who's going to be good at Quake.
Absolutely, one of the fundamental maps in the map pool.
Yeah, 5 railgun shots to 26 of Cyanide, and he landed 42% of those, so certainly an instrumental part of his game. 900 damage to 90 Mike. That's just too much of a difference to try and contest with.
Absolutely, the rails were pretty much on point throughout there, and as we go to Molten Falls, I guess that could be a thing coming into it. Of course, the distances on this map are fairly large as well, so
Yes.
hopefully James has got something sorted out here. Maybe he's got something tricky up his sleeve, under his shirt. I don't know what he's wearing. You know, he could be wearing short sleeves.
Well, frankly, he may be able to avoid the fights with Cyanide a bit more on this map. He can just utilize the size of it, frankly, and keep the distance between them. Try and keep Visor alive for a bit longer so he can use that piercing sight and try and take some engagements on his terms a bit more. It felt like Cyanide was just absolutely bullying him with the speed, getting all around him, chipping him away left, right, and center, and then just finishing him off with the rockets or the gauntlets a couple of times as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And on this particular map, that railgun room is kind of important to keep control of, and it's one of those choke points where the players will often run into each other as well. So expect to see a lot of fights towards it. Of course, it connects into where heavy is as well. So plenty of action on that portion of the map. And that's probably one of the few areas on the map that it's going to be a little bit closer up.
Yeah, it does get quite interesting there at points, especially when both guys are coming to contest and there's still about 5 or 6 seconds remaining on the respawn time, and they're both sort of going to figure out who's going to be backing off from this. Play a bit of a game of chicken. How much damage can you get exchanged in that time? Why don't we get going here? I see both players are ready, and without further ado, you can jump into the second map. Of course, Cyanide on match point, plane ticket point.
Plane ticket point. I like how you put that. Of course, let's see if he is going to be getting that after all, or if we'll end up on a third map or not. Molten Falls, James Lake is pick, so you never know. Maybe the man is a god on the map.
Yeah,
I'm certainly not a god on the map. I'm still learning it.
I've been enjoying the map.
Prepare for draft.
You can get a decent timing on the heavy and the mega. It's not the longest passageway between the two of them. If you just go directly up from the jump pad around the corner, you can get there quite quickly. So once you do get some control on the timings, you can get pretty dominant.
Absolutely. So slightly different start here in the picks.
Mike, this is one of my favorite champions. Cyanide is clearly one with the movement because Sorlag is one of the champions that can actually bunny hop, and she starts to move quite quickly when you hit those hops.
Ranger and Nix on the other side, Yelena coming out, so feeling like caring for his opponent, a bit of healing. Not actually, no.
Clutch pick. Cyanide is just throwing the meta out the back door.
Is he memeing you?
I don't know. I don't think so. I'm gonna go with no, just so that I can feel better about myself. Ooh, the clutch pick comes on a return from James. So he says, whatever you can do, I can do as well, maybe even better.
Very possibly. So just about to go into Molten Falls. This is going to determine, of course, whether we go to a third map or whether Cyanide will be able to get his plane ticket from Namibia. Well, he's got it already, but whether he'll be able to get on there and not be seeking a refund. And it's all about getting to rAge next weekend. rAge will be coming up Friday and Saturday.
Yes.
Next weekend at the Dome. So look out for that. Get yourself a ticket, come through and be in the crowd or watch on the stream. We'd love to have you guys there. And of course, it is all sponsored by MSI. Thanks to them and Corsair, Evetech, and who am I forgetting?
Western Digital and
Western
Tech,
Digital.
as well as Corsair, Mike. They are fantastic as well. Let's jump
Fantastic.
straight into the second map here. We got music playing. We don't need music playing. We've got Quake playing. Michael, there we go. Music is gone. Straight into the game. James actually getting a decent amount of damage and clutch. That shield coming through quite significantly, but he still is going to go down. Unfortunately, cYan1D though is very low here, so this is a good opportunity for James. This is what we were chatting about earlier, Mike, using this window.
Absolutely, very nice start there. And in a pitch battle up front like that so early in the round, it's quite interesting to see Clutch actually losing despite deploying the shield there.
Yeah, they did nerf it in that it takes a bit longer to reset after you shoot, so it's not as powerful as it once was, and it used to be a real ball ache to play against. Nice use of the orb there from James. Usually catch a cYan1D off guard though. In the end, the rockets lead to his demise. Another reason people don't like Saw like that much is because he's a bit of a clunky champion, quite easy to hit with the rails. And when you bring up against a champion like Nyx, for example, you need to be a lot more accurate than your opponent is.
Absolutely, now going to try and undercut him here towards the rail room and doing huge damage, finishing it off with a pinpoint rail gun shot there. Up close. He likes using that thing like a shotgun, doesn't he?
Yeah, it works quite well for him as well, so they can't fault him. And looks like it's more of what we had in the first map.
Round 2.
I do hope for James here that he's able to hit back and do some damage, maybe take a round away.
So this time cYan1D using Clutch as his first champion. Quite interesting, I didn't realize you could actually propel yourself forward. It's almost like a double jump effect. Excuse the ignorance, guys. And he's actually going to try and catch James off guard here. Actually, he popped his invis and he's not going to be better off for it.
Oh!
He's in a bit of an iffy situation now, and he is going to catch a few rails in the face. Let's jump over to James's perspective, Mike. Let's see if he can bring some heat to the table.
Let's hope he can. He's of course running a little scared at the moment because things have not been going his way at all so far. He's pulling out the... Oh, he got the telefrag! That was
Nice
beautiful
one.
with the orb.
There we go. Is this it? Is this the start of the comeback? I think it is. He's gotten down cYan1D champion. He's got him reeling. Gets the health bubbles, keeps him alive, but only for a short period of time. Okay, maybe the comeback was not.
Well, that was short-lived.
Oh well. I'm a bit of a fickle person, okay? I like to support the winner. When they're not winning, I lose my enthusiasm.
Indeed, you can see between the two players here, James struggling a little bit with the movement compared to what we're seeing coming out from cYan1D. So maybe a little bit newer at the game, but overall he's putting on a solid effort nonetheless. Let's just hope he can get a few more licks in here.
Yeah, he was doing a good job of avoiding cYan1D. He knew that he, of course, had the lesser of a stack, and quite substantially so. But still, in the end, he was tracked down cYan1D using that bunny hop to gain some speed. And when your opponent does just have better movements in general and is going to be getting around faster than you, it's going to make things really tough. They're going to end up straight on one another here. The shield coming through for James, and he's actually going to be able to get away here. Nice choice of pathway here for the time being, but absolutely relentless from cYan1D.
cYan1D just pushing here because he's feeling super confident. He's had the better of most of the duels so far. And up close here, maybe this gets shredded here. It looks like he will be. cYan1D goes down. James with a great kill there.
He does get himself on the board here. First time he gets the kill first. And that's going to set him up nicely going into this third round. Very important for him, of course, if he loses this. That is going to be him eliminated. Oh, catch a cYan1D off guard. It's really important to land those initial shots so you can get your opponents on the back foot before you start your engagement. Now have a look, he's very low. Not in any position to take the fight.
Flip gates are closed. Gotta find another way home.
Yeah, maybe he needed to give it a little bit of time before looking to take that fight. He didn't manage to stack himself too much in between the first kill, unfortunately missing out on that heavy as well. So James now again looking to find a rocket here, and
Oh wow,
catch
he's
him off
getting
guard, he
very
does, actually.
aggressive. Yeah, but
very nice.
quite a heavy stack advantage up for cYan1D. He's going to reposition as well, looking for the rail. Unfortunately, James's rocket's just not connecting, except he does there with himself. Unfortunately, it's a decent one across, but not going to be doing too much damage. cYan1D
only fuel our
still
revenge.
dominating this affair, and it is down to Nyx for his final champion. Mike losing this, he is eliminated.
Probably not a fight he should be taking at the moment, considering his stack. He's just freshly spawned as well, and on a champion with well, generally a little bit more of a fragile disposition. So
Yes. Look at
gonna have
cYan1D's
to
stack.
be-
I'm going to just quickly go over. He's got nearly 400, Mike. That's 300 and 340 odd right there. That's that takes a lot of damage to kill him. And even though there's some good LG damage coming through, not going to be nearly enough. The rails from cYan1D do close it out. And that is the game, set and match. cYan1D picking up a swift 2-0. And that is him confirming his spot now at rAge. So he joins Adrenaline Shase. Or Adrenaline and Shase. I believe those are the only two players before him to confirm their spots.
absolutely, those two going through the accuracy of the rail, they're 50% from cYan1D.
Yeah, that's pretty good. 10 shots. So,
Wow.
guys, thank you very much for joining us. We don't have any more games this evening, but we do have 2 tomorrow. If I'm not mistaken, it is Static against Cyberman, and after that it's going to be Void versus Scary 2K.
That's a static
pretty
Cyberman
sure.
game, should actually be pretty good.
Yes, I remember watching Cyberman against Supernova was the first game we casted, and Cyberman actually impressed us quite a lot. So Static's going to get tested in that game.
Absolutely, looking forward to it greatly. So do join us tomorrow night, guys, and of course, do remember to join us when it comes to the LAN next weekend at rAge, the MSI Quake Champions Cup, and we'll be coming to you from Friday.
Yes, certainly going to be worth it, guys. If you don't mind, please would you subscribe to my channel? I'm trying to get up to 100, and then I can get a custom URL and make me feel a lot better about myself. I get anxiety when I see those random characters.
I've got a custom URL, but that's, you know.
Okay, so guys,
sorry,
come
man.
on, you can't let Mike have that on me. Please. I need to get in on this. No, in all seriousness, thanks so much for dropping by, guys. It was great tonight. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did as well. And like I said, come stop by again tomorrow. We're gonna have some great Quake once again. From myself and axtremes, it's been a pleasure, and good night.